Today in the Smuggler's Room, we're gonna finish our mobile command center.
Come in, Smuggler's Room. Do you read me?
Sort of. Not really sure how to use this thing.
I'm on the run from the Walmart staff.
The Walmart staff?
Yeah, they weren't too happy I crashed into the garden section.
I bet.
I need reinforcements.
Communications are still down. I really need you to finish the command center. Who are you throwing plants at?
The Walmart greeter.
Wait, what? You hit the greeter with plants?
No, just a little chin music. The old guy shoots like a stormtrooper.
Man, hurry up and get that command center done and I'll send reinforcements.
Oh crap, there's 3 more of them in electric carts coming at me. Gotta go.
This could really end badly. But I guess that's coming up. What's up, you awesome geeks? I'm Brian and welcome to the Smuggler's Room. This week, this chubby geek is having the Junkyard Jedi take us on the remaining portion of the journey, finishing the Rebel Mobile Command Center. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, then you're definitely going to want to follow the link in the description below so that you can see how this crazy project got started. And once again, we want to give a huge thank you to Matthew Savage, whose amazing concept art has inspired this project. We've put a link to both his website and his Instagram account in the description below, and we would love for you all to have a look and follow him there. Now, before we dive into the project, I want to once again give a huge thank you to the Junkyard Jedi, my dad, for taking the time to not only build this epic project, but also for teaching me what it truly means to build something out of nothing. So, without any further blabber from me, let's finish this thing.
Okay, our panel here, we need some way to, we need to make a hinge. I can use this one temporarily. These will fit mounted inside the frame, and then this gets cut out, and then that allows the frame and the panel to hinge on each other. And with this piece across the back, now we have this little cavity right here. So we're going to fill it full of resin, and then this will be our corner support. Just plain old Scotch tape on our little panel. That makes it sort of resin proof. Got our little corners poured in place. We have to cut this section out, so this will bend all the way down. We're using the oscillating multifunction tool, and we've got a carpet cutting blade in there. It's like a nice hook. That really seems to work pretty well. We'll put multiple ones across here, and then that will stiffen this up. Got some construction paper. I get it on a whole roll. It's floor covering paper. In order to cut out our panel, we want to make a pattern. You can make it out of that paper. You can kind of correct your mistakes with some masking tape so you can get it right up against the edge. So here's a rough side, here's a good side. Alright, here's our hinges. These go inside the frame. Got our panels back from Brian. He had laser cut all these out and then painted the silver lines. I wanted to add just a little more red, so I had to tape off all the silver and then spray a little red on here. Alright, gonna cut out our panels here on our diagram. We made a little template here to go over our 1/8 inch masonite. We'll just go ahead and cut out for our LEDs and our switches. Our saw blade here, we adjust the knob on the back, takes the tension off, and then we can lift this up out of here and put our board over the saw blade. I'll wind this back up again. Okay, ordered some switches. Don't be afraid to not modify these things. They usually just snap together somehow. These have little tabs underneath. Now the button will come out, and also the switch portion also snaps out of there. The switch, the housing, and the button itself. I've sprayed this silver and also white buttons. We're going to mock up all of our panels on this base. On-off switch. In order to get power to the whole board, we found this power strip. Made this small enough so it will fit inside between there and there. So that's pretty much our panel setup. So we got our little Arduino Uno board. We'll slip in here. This is our keypad. We're going to be wiring these buttons to these pads. Sound card, MP3 player. This is where all the LEDs are going to tie in with. Keep this from being all spongy and all. What we're going to do is put in some supports here on these low spots. We're going to use some 6000 glue. That way it'll stick to the ABS plus the wood. We'll give it one more test fit before we're ready for paint. I made these little boxes here to hold our speakers with. You got to get rid of that raw edge. We put a diluted spackling on that and we can sand that down. Spray a little primer on the back. That'll help reflect the light from our LED lights. Alright, we need a way to keep this closed when you carry it around. We've got these little buckles. One goes on the lid and the other one goes on the rest of it. Grooves that we made here, it's going to stick out so we can wrap our cord to our power panel. So I have this little guy we're going to put down here. What else it does is it covers up our Phillips screw head that bolts our frame in. Couple of real light coats and then we'll go back with a heavier coat. Little camouflage paint, it's a flat green, just gonna knock down that brightness. Here's our panels, kind of the same way, you got a little bit of a black grungy on it. Okay, I say we put this thing together here finally. Put our buckles on here. Instead of using screws, I'm going to use the pop rivets. So we ran some speaker wire from our other side here, route this along the inside. We need to glue this down so it stays put against this back wall so it won't interfere with our LED lights. We gotta raise it up off the LEDs. So I made these little spacers out of plexiglass, made a little T-stand here. Ran a pretty stiff wire through to the other side. That's going to be our power strip. We fitted our power supply, fits in there nice and tight. 12-volt power supply will power up this whole strip. The 110 come in here, we'll do our on-off switch. There's a plug. We'll wire up the power cord to it. That plugs in there, turns on the power strip, and we'll be set. We have these keypads from SparkFun. They're tied together with this quick connect wire system. so you can plug in as many boards as you want from one board to the next and then continue on to another one. We're gonna replace the buttons with these buttons. Got all our switches lined up here, all soldered together. Our Arduino is going to live down here in this little space. What we have is little keepers, so they go in these holes we drilled. They just pop in. These will snap into here pretty hard, and they'll stay in there pretty good. Here, get rid of all this excess here. Got our buttons in on this side of the panel. This is where our little gauges are going to be. Got powered on the AUSB ports, and the sounds. I just got R2D2 sounds on here for now. All right, we got our sets of LEDs here, one for each panel. On our center panel here, we got two little holes. I've had these little lenses for about 30 years. About time I use them, I think. All right, we're gonna mount some of these little hard drive motors. They're just a really cool little greebly. Up this headphone that has a little microphone on it. You could put it on, talk to whoever. Thought maybe we'd take this and plug it in. There's a cool little spot right here we could plug this into. This was 3D printed. You could also go to the junk store and you could pick up all sorts of rings. The thrift store usually has all sorts of things you can use. I also printed out little indicators. Picked up some sticky back foam pieces. Here's a little piece of cardstock paper. Planning on doing a little pattern here. What we saw on the original prop, it would rest on this rubber piece. This rubber weather seal we could put down here, and it'll wrap around the corner. Fusion 360. We drew up a handle for our Rebel station. So we'll go print it out on the 3D printer. Fire it up.
This is Admiral Reddish of the Rebel Alliance.
Plays different sounds.
Y-Wing Squadron has joined us. Cover them so they can perform a bombing run.
one of the many features of our mobile device. Plug in our phones, whichever kind you have. Plug in all your friends.
Y-Wing Squadron has joined us. Cover them so they can perform a bombing run. This is Admiral Radish of the Rebel Alliance. All squadron leaders report in.
Admiral, this is Blue Leader standing by.
This is Gold Leader standing by. This is Red Leader standing by.
This is one of those projects that the process and problem solving is almost more enjoyable than the finished result. Having said that, the finished result is still outstanding. I know I've learned a thing or two watching the Junkyard Jedi go through this epic project, and we truly hope the same goes for all of you. I've been a truly lucky son to be able to learn from a master maker, someone that has always continued to help me build something out of nothing.